we were talking about reducing eye strain. So I wanted to relate this back to our university about eye health. I thought that was a great university with Dr. Cohen. And she spoke a little bit about the effect of using devices like your phone, your computer, your tablet on eye health. And today I wanted to talk real specifically about reducing eye strain. So this is not necessarily reducing any sort of like long-term eye diseases, problems of the eye. This is more a short-term, like how you're straining your eyes. So I wanted to talk about some tips and device settings that will hopefully help reduce eye strain for you, and talk a little bit about what eye strain feels like. What we're talking about today is the kind of digital eye strain that comes from looking at screens, looking at blue light, which we'll talk about in a second. Symptoms of digital eye strain, which I've definitely had some of these, but symptoms of digital eye strain can include having dry eyes or watery eyes. It can go either way. Headaches, blurry vision. You can also get things like shoulder and neck cramps from just holding your body in certain ways or trying to compensate for the eye strain, moving closer and moving farther back. You can have light sensitivity from it. So if you are somebody who uses devices a lot or is looking at a screen for a long period of time, and this is something that happens to you, we just want to talk about some ways that you might decrease your likelihood of experiencing this as much. So device settings and also little practices to help reduce digital eye strain. So blue light, we may have heard about this. So what blue light is not in and of itself a bad thing at all. Blue light actually also comes from the sun. It's a certain wavelength of light that helps keep you alert and boost your memory and helps cognitive function. So not a bad thing. We have a lot of blue light coming in from the sun, from devices, all sorts of things. The problem is that this can cause eye strain, and it can also affect our sleep and wake cycles. So think about if you were exposed to the sun all the time, you might always think it was daytime, right? So if you're seeing a lot of blue light on screens, your body can think it's daytime all the time. It can make it harder for you to sleep. There's all sorts of studies about this that have different outcomes to them, but they can cause eye strain. It can disrupt your sleep. That doesn't happen for everyone, but there are some precautions you can take if it's something that you've seen happening for you. But just know, blue light in and of itself is not bad. It's just when we get extra and we get it at times that our body would rather be sleeping or moving towards sleep, that can be disruptive to our sleeping habits. Phones and other devices come now with blue light filters that you can turn on. I think just about every phone now will have some version of a built-in blue light filter to reduce eye strain, to again limit your exposure to blue light later in the day. These can be set on timers so that your blue light actually goes down after sunset. So the amount of blue light that your device is emitting will automatically go down after sunset. So on Android, this setting is going to be called the Eye Comfort Shield, and on iPhone, it's going to be called Night Shift. Similar versions of the same thing. It's just Eye Comfort Shield is Android and Night Shift is iPhone. And you'll see the little icons that go with them over here. They look very similar. And I'll show you how to access those and to change the settings for those. Let's start with Android, and we'll look at how to turn on the Eye Comfort Shield from your home screen. So to access the Eye Comfort Shield on your Android phone, what you need to do is swipe down from the top right corner of your screen. So over here, you'll see a number of icons here that are your settings. What you want to do is pull down this menu here. So you're trying to expand this menu to get to that Eye Comfort Shield. So you swiped down from the top right corner, and then you're going to pull down that menu, and you should see the Eye Comfort Shield right here. So you can click on that, and this is the settings that you'll see to turn it on and off. That's the most basic thing. You can turn it on and off from up here. You can actually turn it on and off from the other screen too by just tapping it. But if you hold down the icon once you do it, you'll see all the settings. So scroll down, open this up, Eye Comfort Shield, hold it down to see the settings. And then you can come in here and we'll talk about how to adjust these settings. So here are some of the selections that you can make for this. So adaptive, that automatically adjusts the blue light, the colors on your phone based on the time of day. That's what I actually ended up setting mine to after doing these slides. I had my blue light filter on 24/7, and it actually isn't recommended that you do that. Again, because blue light is not necessarily a bad thing. You might just want to limit it when you are trying to move towards going to sleep. So I put mine on adaptive. So what that does is it pulls from your phone when sunrise and sunset is where you are, and it will turn down the blue light on your phone after sunset and then turn it back up after sunrise. I just think that's helpful because then you don't have to think about it. It does it on its own. So adaptive is here. So I've got my filter on. I'm going to say adaptive. Then if I wanted to, I could choose custom. And just looking at the phone from there, you can adjust, you can move this dial back and forth to the color that looks right for you. So this would be really high blue light filtering or really low. So you can do that if you find yourself setting it on adaptive or something like that and it doesn't look right to you, you can always modify it there. And then you can set the schedule, you can make it either always on or you can go in and set it for sunset to sunrise, just like the adaptive one, or custom if you want it certain times. And again, this will just ask for your permissions to use your location. And the reason they're doing that is just so they can know when sunrise and sunset are where you are. So I said, go ahead and do that when using that. But also you can go in there if you wanted to just enter a time, that's fine too. I just tried to keep it easy and left mine on adaptive. And then I put on this enhanced comfort as well. So again, in here, you can do adaptive or custom. Adaptive will automatically pull from the time to dim your blue light later at night. And then custom you can set on your own if you would rather do it that way. There's also this setting that you can set called enhanced comfort. That's to adjust color tones and contrast for more comfortable viewing at night. I went ahead and did that too, just to make it looking at the phone at night might not cause as much eye strain. Some of that is about blue light, but some of that is also just about making it more legible to you during the night. So I turn that on. You can do that or not as you like. On iPhone, it's called night shift. I'll walk you through this on the left. So like on the Android, you're going to swipe down from the top of your screen, swipe down from the top right corner, you'll see this, which is where you control the brightness of your screen. You're going to go in here and turn night shift on. And again, it'll say turn on until 7 a.m. or do the settings on there. If you turn it on until 7 a.m., it'll do similar where it's like sunrise to sunset on the Android. And you'll see that the color change on here a little bit. So it turns a little bit like, I want to say redder or like just it's less blue. So if you watch, that'll give you a good sense of what it looks like. So we're going to say turn on until 7 a.m. You see how it tones itself down a little bit. That's some of the blue light filter happening there. So you can either do that or like on Android, you can adjust the lighting on here manually. So you can go on here, click on this, and then just move it up and down as you like. But you can also just do the simple thing, set it for night shift and set it to do that at night for you on its own. So that's night shift and the eye comfort shield. I wanted to show you just one setting. There are a few, but this is one that probably would be the most helpful for the most people. So settings to reduce eye strain. You can also enlarge the display on your device to lessen eye strain. I don't know about you, but sometimes I look at my phone and the font seems really small. It's hard for me to read. Sometimes it's not a problem, but sometimes depending on the app or something, it's way too small. So what you can do is go into your phone and actually make all those fonts bigger and bolder. And that can be really helpful if you find yourself often squinting to look at your phone. So on Android, to do this, again, you're going to swipe down from the top right corner. That's generally what you want to do whenever you're looking for settings of any kind. Swipe down from that top right corner. You're going to see this gear, and that is the settings gear. Again, a good thing to know because that's how you can easily access all your settings. So in order to enlarge your display, swipe down from the top right corner, click on that gear, and then you're going to see your settings menu. And you want to scroll. Here we go. We're clicking on that. Whoop. Scroll until you see accessibility, and you're going to click on that green one. And you're going to look at vision enhancements. And what you're going to do is click this icon that says enlarge display, and I'll show you exactly what happens. Click apply, and look, everything got bigger, everything got bolder. So it makes it easier to see those things, especially in apps where you have a lot of print happening at once. That would apply to your whole phone. So you go back in, you look at your contacts, they're going to be that size, they're going to be bold. So it can make it easier for you to see what you're trying to find when you're in any of your apps. If you do that and you don't like it, you can always go back to the default. You can also do high contrast here, but I think enlarged display is probably the most helpful one here. So if you're having trouble, if you find yourself squinting a lot of times to read things on your phone, that's a good one to try. So again, top right corner, click that gear, scroll down to accessibility, and click on vision enhancements. And then click on enlarge display. There's a number of other things in here that you can do. You can play around with them too. If you find that you are straining to see text on your phone, you can try these different things. You can always come back in and turn them off if you don't like them, but you can mess around and see what's best for your particular vision needs. And then on iPhone, there's similar settings where you can magnify your text size and also make the text bold. You can do those independently of each other here. So what you want to do on iPhone is find your settings gear and then click on that and scroll down to the menu that says display and brightness. And from here, you'll have these two options where you can go in and do text size, and it actually has a little dial that you can do up and down. So it gives you a lot of options in between. You can also make the text bold too. So you can set those. Again, if you don't like it, you can come back and change that back. You can adjust the brightness here as well too, just as the one-time thing. But if you're struggling to read text on your phone, this is a good place to start to reduce some of that eye strain. So again, settings gear, display and brightness, and then adjust your text size, and then turn on bold if you'd like. I just wanted to reinforce this as just an exercise, not a setting on your device, but just a thing that you can practice doing that will help reduce eye strain as well. And it's called the 20-20-20 rule, which I practiced yesterday, and I think it helped. After making these slides and my eyes were like, ugh. It does actually give you some relief from that. I think if you do this over time, you may find that your eye strain becomes a bit less intense or isn't happening as much at all. So depending on whether you're on a computer, a tablet, a phone, it doesn't matter. Let's say you've been on there for 20 minutes. Every 20 minutes, you should be taking a 20-second break and looking at an object that's about 20 feet away from you. I looked up what 20 feet is. It's like a school bus. It's 4 city park benches. So look as far in the distance as you can. I am in a little apartment, so sometimes it's not very far, but just aim for 20 feet and look and take that 20-second break looking at something 20 feet away. 20 minutes, you've been on the computer, look up for 20 seconds and look at something 20 feet away. And what that does is it helps your eyes readjust so they're not just doing this up close, focusing on the device itself. They're getting that long distance view as well, which can help reduce eye strain. If it's something where you're on the computer a lot and it's likely that you will let 20 minutes go by really easily, maybe set an alarm for 20 minutes just to remind yourself. So when the alarm goes off, just take a quick break, look up for 20 seconds, look far in the distance, and that should help in some ways with that eye strain. Give that a shot too. So some combination of these settings on your phone and practicing this will hopefully give you a little bit of relief from that digital eye strain. And the other thing too is just, if you can, take breaks in general. Instead of being on a computer for hours at a time, the 20-20 is good, but get up and walk around and use your eyes for something else for a little while, just to give them a break, give them other things to focus on as opposed to a screen for a little bit. And that can be helpful too. This is not medical advice because I am not a doctor, but this is a reminder that if you're having any sort of eye issues, whether it's eye strain or anything like that, you should be talking about this with your ophthalmologist at your yearly eye exam. So don't skip that. Even if you're changing all these things on your phone, you still need to be going to your yearly eye exam. And as Dr. Cohen reminded us, it's really important for your overall health that your vision and changes to your vision can be an indication of all sorts of different things that you might need to explore about your health in the first place. Don't neglect that just because you've changed settings on your phone or because you're practicing this 20-20 rule. Keep going to the ophthalmologist once a year.